Hola, happy listener. It's nice to meet you again via this platform, and thank you for listening already. Alright, so today I really just want to talk about choices. It's been a topic that has been on my mind for right about a month now. So I figured adulthood, there's this song, adulthood na scam, and all of that. But the real thing is, back to this question of making choices. It's not even just the adulthood, like the Gen Z adulthood level that I'm even talking about, but even you see grown people having to make choices between their families, their work, their lifestyle, the choice of school, the choice of where to worship, the choice of faith, amongst every other thing. Yes, and this always also come with the mix of parting is such sweet sorrow, where you have to leave some place for another place, change jobs if need be, relocate if need be, and then all that mix, there is also the part of feeling guilty, emotional blackmail, emotional intelligence, being defiant, being perceived as defensive. It's just a mix of a whole lot of things, and just like the way this podcast seems to be juggling like 3 points together, I feel that it all just ties to the fact that human beings will just have to make a choice whether they like it or not, and they have to be responsible for these choices. I figured there was a time I wanted to talk about this, where I feel that everybody has a say, seems to have a say in your life or how you manage your conduct. You're expected to dress this way to church, you're expected to look this way at work, your family expects you to speak this way or engage in this kind of format. Your loved ones or friends or acquaintances expect that you vibe to them. They want you to be able to sing some songs, they want you to be able to dance or interact, they want you to go certain places with them. So how do you get to manage all of this? And in all of this, how do you find yourself? I think that is a $1 million question. How do you find yourself in the mix of all of this? Who are you? So I drew one day like that, a picture, dragged it, Ayomide in the middle, and then with some extensions, say, okay, this is church, this is work, this is school, this is my friends, this is where I want to be, this is my relationship. So how do I want to be perceived in all of these places? All of them have an expectation of who Ayomide should be. But in the real world, in the real sense of it, who is Ayomide? Who is Chara? So who are you as well? I think that's the question I'm posing to you. I don't have the answers because I'm also going through the same challenges as you are. And maybe I don't have to have everything figured out. And maybe that's the message for you today, that you don't really have to have everything figured out. Calm down. Breathe, my dear. Freaking breathe. Yeah. I think I tried to do this last month. Yeah, last month I was quiet, I must say. I was quiet. I think I deepened my relationship with God, and my faith was strengthened. I listened more than react, than even speak. And I think I find it useful. And I just, isolated myself from certain circumstances because I just needed to be sure, what am I even doing? What's the reason for everything that I'm doing? Does it worth it? Am I being my best? Am I at my comfort zone now? Do I need to move? What is the next step for me in life? Maybe because also in church, at least the two churches I listen to, right, aside Stephen Fortick, were emphasizing how to be led by the Spirit, and the other one was talking about faith in God. So I think the merger of those messages were very useful for me, I must say. And it just exposes my mind to say, okay, I didn't come to this world by myself. At least that was fundamental. Somebody created me. That person has some expectation of me, one. And he's responsible for me. Like, guy, I didn't ask to be here. He's responsible for me. But sometimes as humans, when we are here, we get so caught up in the activities of life and just forget that, girl, guy, you didn't even come here by yourself now. Like, more. You have somebody who's responsible for you. Can't you let him just take the lead? Let him freaking take the lead, guy. So I got to that point and just let down all the ropes. I'm like, God, you fix it. God, I let it go. And this is me trusting you. So that's faith in God. So I let the ropes off and I say, God, I trust you to take the lead. I trust you to do what's best. You know me, you brought me to this life, you have a certain way for me, you have an expectation for me. Just like you go to the market and you get yourself a mug or something. If you turn the mug to your flower plant, it's up to you, the buyer, the owner. If you turn it to your special cup in the house that only you use it to drink wine, it's up to you. If you use it to take tea, it's up to you. Oh, it's my custard cup, it's up to you. Because you determine the use of that particular item, because you own the item, you bought the item off. And if you are a potter that creates or you molded something, you determine what you do with that clay that you've molded. And that's just how we are in the eyes of God. At least everybody would agree that we didn't just come to the world out of on our own volition, right? We were made by something, we appeared as a result of something. There's a cause and effect, right? Okay, so in that same vein, we have somebody responsible for us, and just let him take the lead. Freaking let him do. Okay, I'm just going to share this podcast as it is. This is the third podcast I'm recording that I have not sent out, but I'm sending this one out because I think the message is relevant. And let me reiterate the message in case anybody missed it. It is let go, let God, live, love, learn. And that is actually my philosophy, but I don't even know if I really follow it. Live, do what's needed, life activity, school, whatever you want to find interesting to do. Love, yes. Be kind to your neighbor, be kind to your next door person, be in a romantic relationship if you need to be emotional in that sense. Yes, don't be brazen faced or stone cold, right? And then in the middle of all of that as well, learn. You make mistake, oh, you didn't do this one well, we'll try again. This is our first time in this planet, on planet Earth, so we can't expect ourselves to be perfect. Like, cut yourself some slack. I am cutting myself some slack and summing it up to the point where you have to let go. Really, it's because each time you make a choice, I bet it may not be the perfect choice, it may not be the right answer, but you can't beat yourself up because you make wrong choices. The best you can do is to learn from it and move on. Learn from it, teach somebody, don't go this route. I went this route and this is what it led me to. Do you understand? So that's the approach I think one should take. And if that person also doesn't take the learning, my dear, leave him or her. They'll find out some way. And it may not be the same journey, right? It might work out for them, because that's why there is no template after all. You might have gone this way and it worked or didn't work, and you want to communicate that to the second person coming behind you. What if their own journey is entirely different, right? So the journey cannot be the same for everybody. As much as you might try to protect people, let them be too. So that's also part of making, so not just making choices for yourself, but even making choices to let people be as and when you. You can't force folks to be who they are not. And you can't force learnings on them. You have to let them be. So it's a lot of things I've said in 9 minutes, almost 10. I think this will be my longest podcast. I just said it unrehearsed. I hope you really like it, and I hope that you not necessarily like it, but more importantly, you learn from it. Thank you. So there's a rebranding ongoing. You can, if you notice the website is currently down, you can only listen to this on Anchor. Once it's live, you get to know it's coming out live with a new name, new logo, a better brand, targeted communication. One day. But then the point is, it's just going to be more tailored content, and it will be open for people to also bring in their submissions, and we'll publish it as well. Yes, so I'll be reaching out. If you follow me on Instagram or you have my personal contact, we'll definitely keep in touch, and you'll be seeing some of these communications going out. I might need some volunteers, so if you are interested in the vision, which will be shared also, will be clearly detailed and shared with everybody, you can let me know as well. Thank you so much for listening through. I love you. A bientôt. Destiny has brought us to this crossroads, forcing us to be bold, to code the future with our tongues. Today's question is, who do we vote? But here am I for those who have voted, those to whom voting is an exercise in foolishness, those like my friends, which what I say, vote no dey count. Now, waiting again from the last time, no be ask last. Waiting we see for answers, guy, you know the see the scars. This country no feel better. Me, I want jackpot before I scatter. Shey na like this we go the day. Too many hashtags reminds us of us. Hashtag end our social strike. Hashtag end SARS. Hashtag end police brutality. Hashtag our massacre. Hashtag end everything. But dear Nigerian youths, you sabi say no be by mouth we fit change these things. It be things. But when we all gather there, our impact go loud. Our impact film, ripple effect thing. Abi? Now like this we go dey. Oga John Kennedy sef talk am. Oga John Kennedy sef talk am say the ignorance of one voter in an election. Oga John Kennedy sef talk am say the ignorance of one voter in a democracy impairs all, and it wasn't capping. We need the numbers. We need you in the numbers. No be by clapping. The vote on the match where you dey. This one a clarion call where you at. Abi? Now like this we go dey. Not voting is not a virtuous rebellion. You fit vote for or against. Again I say, you fit vote for or against. If you no vote, your choice go still count as you don't reduce the chance of one side winning. Nobody go dey price wetin no get value. You say na we country, but you don't reach time to decide. You say au revoir. You say na we country, but you don't reach time to decide. You say au revoir. Badamoa, ile labo simi oko. After all being said and done, nkabulo ainile. We all cannot. We all cannot keep running. Fam, what is your excuse? Abi na like this we go dey. Pause, think, and reflect. Now, our one chance be this to change the fate of the country in the next 4 to 8 years. Because reason everybody matters you dey choose. Choose person wey get sense. Choose person wey go dey tell us as they go. Tell sojo mo wire abi mi o wire. Fam, vote o, make it count. No be like this we go dey.